interviews to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We bring in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV, channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now, you have more than a voice. From the views on the street,
we go to bed empty hunger,
to the blaring horns of a hustling city, the loudest voices of the common man got a medium to be heard.
This particular administration, they were coming unprepared.
It's not a bad thing to renovate the president's lodge.
Through top-notch programming, unbiased reportage of news, sports, business, entertainment, and cultural documentaries, Voice of the People 90.3 FM became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV, youthful, full of vigor and penchant for excellence in the continent's media space, exposing the wrongs, applauding the rights, dissecting the news without fear or favor, through factual and accurate stories and contents.
Corruption kills three things that makes a society.
Representing the interests of the people and giving them a voice. Voice of the People TV is here to stay towards building a fair society. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television, truly a voice for the people. VOP TV. Now, you have more than a voice.
Welcome to Aviation School. I am Chukwuemeka Obioma. This edition seeks to ascertain the benefits of setting up an aircraft leasing company in Nigeria. And with me to examine this issue here on the program is an aviation expert, Abiodun Adewuni. Abiodun Adewuni is an aviation business analyst with over 25 years of experience in the aviation industry. He has built a distinguished career in ground handling operations covering both cargo and passenger services. Abiodun, you're welcome.
Thank you for having me.
All right, we're looking at benefits of aircraft leasing in Nigeria. You would recall that the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, actually hinted at the federal government's plan to establish an aircraft leasing company in Nigeria. Now, Keyamo disclosed this during the arrival ceremony of the first dry-leased aircraft by Air Peace at the Murtala Muhammed International Airport here in Lagos. Now, when fully operational, the firm will serve as a middle company between Nigerian operators and international lessors, as well as aircraft manufacturers. Now, the initiative, according to the minister, is expected to boost the Nigerian aviation industry through the availability of dry-leased aircraft, as well as enable local operators to compete more effectively with international airlines. Now, under the dry-lease arrangement, Air Peace received a Boeing 737-700 aircraft, or 700 if you will. So, break it down. Our viewers could actually make a sense of what the topic is about today. What is a leasing company supposed to do in an aviation industry? What are the benefits of having a leasing company in place within the industry?
All right. Oh, thank you very much. The benefits are enormous.
All right.
First and foremost, I'll need to congratulate the Honorable Minister, Festus Keyamo. He has practically brought in his legal expertise into the industry. It's a gap that has been there for a very long time, and for him to come and is able to identify that, I think we need to commend him for that. Is the right direction. Let me just take it one after the other. The leasing company that the government is establishing for the operators in the industry is long overdue. The reason is why I say it's long overdue, because the company is now going to take the responsibilities of being the guarantor.
Okay.
Don't forget, in the past, the industry is facing a lot of challenges in sourcing for aircraft for our space. And that is why you find a lot of operators we operate today. The next 1 year or 2 years, there are no more there. We have a lot. I don't need to mention names, which we all know. And it's really, really affecting our industry. And this is a country of over 200 million Nigerians that the market is there.
Okay.
So what government has looked right now is to say, okay, as it is, let's set up a company that will be interfacing with the aircraft manufacturers that or the leaser, because you have some people out there that want to lease the aircraft to our operators in Nigeria, but a lot of conditions are attached to it. And right now, the government has taken it upon themselves indirectly to now be the one that will interface with these manufacturers on behalf of the operators.
Okay.
And this is a boost for the industry, because as it is, you begin to see new fleets of aircraft that will be coming into the country.
Okay.
Ordinarily, the operators might not be able to get it on their own, because if they have to do it on their own, the cost is huge.
Yeah.
And a lot of operators are doing well. They need more fleets.
Okay.
And those ones that need that fleets, they don't have the resources. They don't have the backing. No banks is willing to invest in that industry like we have before. But right now, the establishment of the leasing company will be a kind of is more like a trust guarantee that they are giving to the aircraft manufacturers. And this is a really is a boost. It's going to boost the industry. We're going to be seeing a lot of new fleets that will come into the country, and there's going to be that, which must also back by a good, effective regulatory monitoring, because that's our major problem in Nigeria, which this time around, if this thing come into place, then the NCAA, the NAMA, and the rest, everybody must just be there to perform that oversight function to ensure that nothing must happen to this agreement, because it's an international agreement they are signing, and it's something that we all must give the support to. So I commend the Honorable Minister for this, for what he has done. And it's going to create a lot of jobs. So that there's no doubt about that.
Okay.
So it's good for the industry. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. We understand that leasing business in the industry or sector is subdivided into two categories, or if you would like, is two-pronged. And one is that a dry lease, which is just a part of it, refers to an agreement where only the aircraft is provided by the lessor, while the lessee handles crew, insurance, as well as maintenance. Now, this differs from the more common wet lease, which includes full operational support. I'm asking, which would you recommend? Which do you think that airline operators would be capable enough to actually manage?
Yeah, it's good. Like I said, the whole arrangement is well thought of, and the dry lease is the best for today in Nigeria because it will give the airlines operational control, good operational control. What they need is the aircraft. They will be the one to provide the maintenance. They will provide the crew and the insurance. That's just what they need.
Okay.
And it will, because
so we're talking about dry lease in this instance.
Yeah, a dry lease, yes. Because if you look at the wet lease, a lot of things are attached, and which does not really favor the industry, even the operators. Don't forget, our exchange, the transaction is in Naira. Naira's value is not as strong as like we have it before in the past. So if you have to go for a wet lease that you have to pay for the MRO in dollars, that is a maintenance and overhauling that they're going to do, it's going to cost them a lot, even because presently everybody is talking about air ticket going up, but the cost of running the airline business is not cheap, and it is calculated in dollars. If they have to take the aircraft for D-check, they know how much they are paying in dollars, not in Naira. And we have a lot of issues to that. So right now, like I said, the dry lease is the best because a lot of things are attached. They don't need to look for foreign crew. The crew are here. And it's also going to open up other eco businesses for us because you're going to have the training schools that are going to be there, and the market will be attractive for investors. Banks can finance with ease. A lot of things we go with. In fact, the logistics business is going to really jump up. I tell you today, to bring in an aircraft to Nigeria to ferry out exports in Nigeria today, not even the passengers alone, it costs a lot. And that is why most of our export-driven businesses are not competitive abroad, because you will have spent a larger part of it in the air freight. But when you have this type of arrangement, the aircraft is located in Nigeria, obviously we will be able to compete with other export that we're doing. That is for the cargo alone. You are not talking of the passengers as well. You have the aircraft, you have a lot of fleets here. Obviously, it's going to really help us. So for now, the dry lease is the best option because gradually it will help the operator to have to increase their fleets and make sure that they have the well-competitive aircraft that can really match the market. Because as it is, what is the likes of the Emirates and the Turkish Airlines are doing? It's because of the aircraft that they are bringing. If we have the same opportunity, it will okay. Thank God for the airpiece. The airpiece is really making us proud. But I know that we have other airlines too that can make us proud in Nigeria. So the dry lease is good because it comes with a lot of opportunities. We are not outsourcing our jobs. The jobs is in Nigeria, and it will also increase more opportunities, and it's a catalyst for our economy, because you are looking at how the economy will be driven. It goes beyond just the aircraft. A lot of things. You're going to look at the job that is going to create. You're going to look at even the revenue to the aviation industry, because you're going to have a lot of the aircraft that will be on ground. And when you have a lot of aircraft on ground, then you're also going to have opportunities for on the long run, the tickets will be cheaper, I know in the past.
Yeah, I was coming to that. I was going to ask how this would translate to airfare for air travelers.
Yeah, when you have many aircraft on ground, it becomes a competition. And the airlines will use everything to attract the travelers. Right now, there are a lot of connectivities in Nigeria in Africa that are difficult, which Nigeria, as a hub of this particular business, it will enable us to have aircraft on ground to do that. I recall there was a time I was going to Malabo. It was not easy. I flew Camp Air to Douala, from Douala to this, and I even missed the presentation I went for because there are a lot of things, there are a lot of challenges there. So it's going to really help connectivity with ease. It's going to drop our ticket. Domestic tickets, especially because it's not that easy to fly with the current rate if you compare it to the outside world. So I believe it's going to really help the industry. It will help the passenger, it will help the operators, and it will help the economy.
All right. Okay. And with that line, we'll go on a short break now. And when we return, Aviation Scoop continues. Please stay with us.
Aircraft leasing is gaining momentum in Nigeria's aviation sector, offering a way for local airlines to access modern jets without huge upfront investment. In fact, Nigeria was recently removed from the global aviation leasing blacklist, opening up better access for international leasers. The Nigerian government is also planning to launch a domestic aviation leasing company, which would act as an intermediary between local airlines and global lessors, helping reduce capital flight and making leasing more affordable. Insurance rules for leased aircraft have been relaxed too. Recent changes by NICOM and the Ministry of Aviation ease foreign insurance restrictions, making leasing safer and cheaper for Nigerian carriers. A key milestone is that Air Peace recently became the first Nigerian airline to receive a dry-leased Boeing 737-700 from Aircar, the first such lease into the country in over a decade. But there's still a gap. Nigeria currently lacks its own leasing company, costing the aviation sector an estimated $2 billion a year in lost revenue. As the global aircraft leasing market is projected to hit $315 billion by 2033, this shift could be transformational for Nigeria's airline growth and fleet modernization.
Welcome back. You are still watching Aviation Scoop on Voice of the People TV. We've been discussing about the benefits of leasing, aircraft leasing in Nigeria. And our guest has been Abiodun Adewuni, an aviation expert with over 25 years experience in the industry. Right. Abiodun, let's continue from where we left off. Now, how will the leasing company enable local operators to compete more effectively with international airlines? What are the key factors in achieving this goal? Let's just break it down for our common viewers to actually comprehend what we are talking about further.
Yeah, thank you very much. The benefits to helping the local operators, they are many, because one of the challenges our local operators are having is because they don't have the right fleets. The aircraft that they are using, most of the aircraft, there are no flying zone to some areas because of the capacity, or should I say, even the passengers themselves feel somehow, flying some aircraft, because we all know, I don't want to look as if I'm bringing our operators down, but you and I know the difference when we go out there to fly in even domestic flight, and we know what we have. But it's something that they've been struggling with. The major problem has to do with having the aircraft. And the moment the aircraft is provided, obviously, it will open more markets for them. Because they will be looking at having a regional operations and intercontinental operations as well. Don't forget, Nigeria is big. Everything in Nigeria is everything in Africa. So if we are able to have that institution that is really, really working to ensuring that our operators are getting what is needed for them in terms of the aircraft. The key success area that they need to put there into place. One, we must ensure that there is need to avoid political interferences, because that's one of our major problems in Nigeria.
That's a valid point you just raised.
Yeah, because a company or operator, the international airline, the aircraft manufacturers or the lessors giving you such much aircraft, the aircraft is not cheap. So they want a situation whereby everything that you have agreed is taken on. It's a business that is lucrative, but sometimes we try to apply some Nigeria lackadaisical attitude towards that. But if that is not part of our culture for this particular arrangement, I can assure you that it's going to really help us. And if the political interferences is not there, that we enable some cabal to now take control of the industry, because we need to make sure that we have a level playing ground. There has to be a checklist for the operators. We don't want a situation whereby a particular operator is seeking an approval from the same company and is not getting it because it's not backed by a kind of a political influence. This is something that can really have a negative effect. But I trust that the Honorable Minister is a process person. But in every industry there is also cabal. But I just want him to watch out on that. Once that is sorted out, it's okay. We also need to make sure that the regulator, especially the NCA, make sure that they perform their oversight function. Ensure that the maintenance and safety of the aircraft is also something that they must take as important, because this is a country-backed, a kind of a guarantor, a sovereign guarantor entity that the industry, the international business owners are looking at. So the moment that they ensure that the safety and the safety area and the maintenance is also there, yes, we are good to go. And finally, we also need to make sure that the needed funding, the needed support from the CBN and possibly Exim Bank is also available.
Talking about funding, there has been this, the government has actually proposed aviation development banks. I don't know how feasible you consider that. There's been this talk about government proposing Aviation Development Bank, ADB as we know it. It is considered somewhat a potential solution to these hurdles posed by maintenance and competitiveness. For you to be competitive in the industry, that means you must be on your A game financially. So how do you view this? What's your take on that?
Yes, with this project, with this establishment of this particular structure, we also need funding, like you said. So it's not out of place if we have what we call the Aviation Bank. It's very, very important. Look at the recent embarrassment we had to face with repatriations of profit of the international airlines, to the extent that it's affected their frequencies to Nigeria. A lot of passengers suffered because of the challenges and it also affected the diplomatic relationship between two countries. If we have these banks, it's going to help in a lot of ways. Like I said, the industry is not cheap. A lot of people want to invest in the industry, but because there is lack of structure, which the industry is coming up with through the ministry, I believe the Aviation Bank will play a critical role in ensuring that the needed funding for the business is achieved. And it's also going to help a lot of new investors into the industry, because in the past, everybody see it as a high risk industry. It is, high risk. And right now, when you now have a government backing, apart from the government backing, you have international international leasers bringing in aircraft, just like we have it in Singapore and Ireland. What gives us the impression that Nigeria cannot be the hub of the West Africa for the leasing company?
All right.
That every leasing. So it's something that is needed, and we need the bank. And the bank can work with our local bank and the Exim Bank. A lot of opportunities are going to be there. So, like I said, what the industry, the new company is going to achieve is beyond just the aircraft leasing. It is going to enable the economy in a lot of areas. Is it tourism? You will begin to see a lot of promos on the long run, because a lot of people will come into the business, and a lot of things that they used to, the airline used to compete.
All right.
They use the service to compete.
Thank you
also
very much, sir.
Price.
Thank you, Abiodun. I know you have so much to say on this particular topic, on this edition of the program, but my producer has just signaled me that we have run out of time. Okay. So it's been wonderful discussing this with you, Abiodun Adewuni. Thank you very much for your insightful contribution.
Thank you very much. I look forward to having other conversations in the industry with you.
All right. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
We have come to the end of this week's edition of Aviation Scope. Keep a date with us again, same time next week. I am Chukwuemeka Obioma. Thank you for watching.
VOP-TV. Now, you have more than a voice.
This is African News on Voice of the People Television, where we don't just bring you the news, we bring you Africa's heartbeats, the policies that shapes our world, and the economy that determines our future. African News on Voice of the People Television. Stay with us.
My name is Taro Familoni, and here's to VOP-TV. Keep watching, stay tuned, do not touch that dial.
My name is Made Kuti, and you're watching VOP-TV. Keep watching.
Welcome, my name is Zika Davis. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, boys, viewers, everybody, boys and girls. This is VOP-TV. Do you know what that means? Voice of the People TV. You don't have a voice, don't come here. You better make sure your voice is.
This is Health Check, your weekly guide to better living, smarter choices, and trusted answers. From everyday wellness to urgent health issues, we've got you covered. Health Check, only on Voice of the People television, where your health has a voice.
To know the happenings in the maritime sector, join us on the program Maritime Frontiers on VOP TV as we discuss key areas in the maritime sector, from aquaculture, maritime transportation, maritime labor regulation, oil and gas exploration, ferry and passenger insurance, marine pollution and prevention, port operations, and lots more. Maritime Frontiers, exploring Nigeria's blue economy.
We encourage you to click on the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Voice of the People TV. Also follow us on all our social media platforms. We are at VOP TV Live. Visit our website www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news. Also watch us live on SLTV channel 264. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television.
In a world where power shifts with every headlines, news breaks and events happens, we bring you unbiased and explicit information on politics, economy, and state of the nation. We break down the chaos. Facts, not fluff. Truth, not spin. We discuss not just politics, but a glimpse into the future. Join Moses, Chukuma, and Fina on Voice of the People TM. Voice of the People Television. Now you have more than a voice.
The red carpets, awards, the razzmatazz, music, fashion, interviews, and more. Spotlight on Voice of the People Television. Let's feed you with all the juicy stories in the global entertainment space, bringing you the glitz and glamour as they hot. Stay tuned to Spotlight, 1 p.m. Monday to Friday. Spotlight on VOP TV. Entertainment like never before.
Welcome to the locker room, the home of football talk that matters. I am Jerry Arpeon. Join us every weekday, Monday to Friday at 5 p.m. Nigerian time, as we share the hot takes and hot debates in the exciting world of football. And joining me are the usual suspects, Ikechukwu and Mayowa, as we break down all the hot takes and everything that's happening in the football. Don't just watch football, live it with us. Catch us on the locker room and Voice of the People Television at 5 p.m. Nigerian time. And like I always say, if not going to the talk, please discuss.
Join us as we drive into the world of politics through insightful interviews with prominent political figures, both serving and former governors, ministers, senators, legislators, party chieftains, activists, and analysts. Get first-hand information into the decision-making processes that affect our daily lives. Highly engaging one-hour program that brings political discourse into focus.
I am Chukwuma Okoro.
Political Lens, Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Join us. In a world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions scream the loudest, it's time to wade through the noise.
Hunger no get tribe! Hunger no get religion!
And scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues on Voice of the People Television, Mondays to Fridays, 8 to 9 p.m. The Issues. Don't just react. Understand.
Voice of the People, you can hear me now. My name is Patrick Doyle, and I wish that you continue to echo the voices of the people. Big up VOP TV.
My name is Suibifa Dokubo. Please keep watching VOP TV.
Hi, my name is Kwekumali Ikenna Onyekwena, and I am with the Voice of the People TV. Now, if you're looking for the veritable channel for information, politics, robust discussions, you don't need to go far. VOP has you. VOP will always have you. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Patrick Diabwa, aka Ibani Chuka, Amayanabo the Eagle King, and you are watching VOP TV.
Behind every broken desk lies a broken promise. Education shapes the nations, but who is asking the right questions? Introducing Edu Dialogue, the show that goes beyond the surface, exposes the cracks, the corruption, and the silence in Nigeria's education system. Edu Dialogue, Saturdays, 3 p.m., only on VOP TV. We break the biggest stories, from missing funds to policy failures. We ask the tough questions and demand real answers. Edu Dialogue, this Saturday, 3 p.m. on Voice of the People Television.
Do you want your voice to be heard? Do you know that you matter in the scheme of things? The People's Voice, the show where ordinary citizens take center stage as we discuss the biggest stories that affect you and I. With you in mind, we facilitate lively discussions, debates, and interviews on the topics that matter most to you and I, from social justice to economic empowerment, education to healthcare, governance, and more, tackling tough topics and amplifying your voice. Join the conversation and make your voice count. The People's Voice. Make your voice count.
Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We bring in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
Hey guys, what's up? How you all doing? They call me Ovisha Nelson One, your number one celebrity host, and you are watching Voice of the People Television, VOP. Stay tuned.
Uyi Osarite is my name. I am a friend of the microphone, Voice of the People TV. That name is unique, and the brand is very sweet. I like the packaging. Picture qualities, camera qualities, and then of course, the quality of human beings that I see sometimes on your channel. I talk and get paid, and I look forward to being in your studios.
Oh yes, you are on to Voice of the People TV, live here in Benin City, the cradle of black civilization. What are you waiting for? Tune in, bro.
VOP TV. Now, you have more than a voice.
2564 is coming up on 49, right?
2564 Atlantic Tower.
What happens in the hush behind hangar doors
Who signs the papers that gamble with lives? Which truths were grounded before they even ever had wings? If you've ever buckled a seatbelt at 30,000 feet, if you've ever stared out of that tiny window and wondered who's really in control of the skies, it isn't just flight, it's power, it's politics, it's pressure sealed in steel. We're peeling back the clouds from runway risks to sky-high secrets. We're diving deep where most dare not to look. Aviation Scope, every Sunday at 7 p.m. only on Voice of the People TV. We don't just report, we reveal. We don't just ask, we uncover. Because when it comes to the skies, ignorance is turbulence. Aviation Scope, the sky isn't the limit, it's just the beginning.
Welcome to Kitty's Corner. Every weekend is a new journey. Join Auntie Oni as she embarks on thrilling adventures. Each episode takes the young explorers to a different fantastical world filled with exciting challenges, making new friends and learning valuable life lessons. The show begins with lots of excitement in a cozy storytelling mood. Fairies teach the importance of kindness, honesty, bravery, teamwork, or curiosity. Kitty's Corner is a delightful blend of fun, education, and imagination with catchy songs, interactive games, and heartwarming stories. Join Auntie Oni every Saturday, 10 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. on Voice of the People Television. Kitty's Corner, perfect destination for curious minds.
My name is Esther. They call me the Oga of them are the general overseer of them all. Every man, every woman has got a voice where integrity is the volume. So this is Voice of the People's TV. Voice of the People's TV. So this is the people's voice. And the people's voice is the voice of God. That's the voice populi in Latin. The people's voice is the voice of God. So keep watching Voice of the People. In fact, my name is Voice of the People. Keep watching MC Ado Pikin.
Hi guys, my name is Kagan. I am Nigeria's biggest tech content creator, and I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Voice of the People TV. Keep watching, enjoy, and you're welcome.
My name is MC Alamano. They say call me Enjoyment Landlord. It's VOP TV. Keep watching VOP TV. Don't touch it down. Even if you want to touch it down, increase the volume. If you don't increase the volume, I told me.
My name is Collins Agawabe, popularly known as No Mide, but last, more than No Mide, or more. Not be all so the cook right at the fry plantain. We keep on watching VOP TV. The voice of the people, the voice of Edo. If you now want to get the authentic news for Edo, the way it be, that's why they show and all the cut anything come on. At VOP TV.
Hello there, my name is Damilola Ogunsi, also known as the Goldfish.
Hi, my name is Chiki Bright Emmanuel. I'm an actor and a filmmaker.
Hello peeps, my name is Yomi E. Adejumo.
Hi everyone, I'm Paul Utomi.
Hi everyone, my name is Stacey Benjamin and this is Voice of the People TV.
I need you to keep it locked to VOP TV. See, are you looking for good entertainment? You want to get good movies, good music, politics, talk shows, sports and entertainment. You really want a channel that gives you everything you need without you having to run around. VOP is where you are. That's Voice of the People.
If you're not listening to this, you're not one of us. And you deserve to be killed. Scrap chat. Don't be killed, but watch it. Or I'll find you. And I want you.
And you are locked on VOP TV. Don't go nowhere. This is where the juice is. This is where all you need for entertainment, politics, movies, and whatnot.
And keep watching VOP TV.
So keep it locked because I'm locked already, man. And it's money back guarantee. So you're going to have a good time because I do.
And please keep watching VOP TV.
I won't want to actually. I beg you, subscribe, watch it. If not, whatever you see.
You better not touch that die because VOP is the plot.
From the views on the street,
we go to bed empty hunger,
to the blaring horns of a hustling city. The loudest voices of the common man got a medium to be heard.
This particular administration, they were coming unprepared.
It's not a bad thing to renovate the president's law.
Through top-notch programming, unbiased reportage of news, sports, business, entertainment, and cultural documentaries. Voice of the People 90.3 FM became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV, youthful, full of vigor and penchant for excellence in the continent's media space, exposing the wrongs, applauding the rights, dissecting the news without fear or favor, through factual and accurate stories and contents.
Corruption kills three things that makes a society.
Representing the interests of the people and giving them a voice. Voice of the People TV is here to stay towards building a fair society. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television, truly a voice for the people.
The Nigerian Tourism Development Authority says domestic tourism remains one of the most reliable pathways to economic growth and job creation across the country. The authority is collaborating with the communities and festival organizers to repackage cultural content for both local and international audience.
The DG is really concerned and he's reaching out to the owners of destinations like Odi. Odi Festival belongs to the Odi people of Bayelsa State. So he's not sitting on his table in Abuja alone. He's reaching out and encouraging, destination owners like our cultural content, our tourism sites, by helping them to reach out for greater and wider audience. To the least akara fryer by the roadside, the tourism economic value chain drops on everyone. The transporter, a time will come, people will need to leave their houses for guests. And if I leave my house for 2-3 days for people to stay, or 7 days, I'll surely gain out of it. It is to this level that Mr. Olawa through the NTD is looking at Odi Festival. Not the way it was before. It sure will not be like that again from next year. The transporter will gain out of it. The market woman will gain out of it. Food sellers will gain out of it. Nightclubs will do better. So at the end of the day, it will be a win-win for the host community.
The NDTA says it's providing technical support to event organizers nationwide with staff designated to help communities plan and manage tourism activities effectively.
We are people that are, fun-loving, peace-loving, industrious, productive, well-educated set of people. So we celebrate, that's our history. We celebrate our heritage. We celebrate our oneness, in love and in tourism. Well, the people are known for hospitality. The people are known for creativity. So the festival, almost all the activities the cultural activities that we celebrate in the festival are creative, activities. So OD has become the tourism hub of the Niger Delta because of the nature of the people, hospitable. And let me add that during the period of the celebration, if you go to OD, you don't need to know anybody. The people are welcoming. So you just walk into any household. The people are, if I expecting people to be to visit them, so they welcome you, accommodate you, feed you, and sometimes even give you money to spend for the period of the festival. Let us see how we can, with what we have done, the beauty, the packaging that we have done, let the world come. Let us package it, and make it a global event. So that is why, and of course, the people cannot do it alone. They have been doing it in the past. For the 68 years of its existence, we have been doing it in the past. Let us see how we can bring the world, bring corporate bodies, bring brands, bring organizations to properly package this festival and make it a real tourism event, an international event. That's why we are here.
Speakers at the forum urged private brands and banks to invest in community tourism, saying such involvement will grow local economies and improve living standard.
Look at the United States of America. Moving from one
say from New York to Florida to the beach. They travel within America and is generating a whole lot of money, such that some communities in America are getting tax rebates because of the tourism that their community generates. So tourism is not something that happens by accident. It's usually a deliberate effort. We have more population than Morocco. We can make way more income than Morocco makes from tourism. Unfortunately, Morocco is the most visited country in Africa, as far as tourism is concerned.
With new strategies and stronger partnership, the Nigerian Tourism Development Authority says domestic tourism will play a greater role in driving inclusive growth and national development. I am Onyeka Ogolo reporting for VOP TV.
VOP TV. Now, you have more than a voice.
This is Health Check, your weekly guide to better living, smarter choices, and trusted answers. From everyday wellness to urgent health issues, we've got you covered. Health Check, only on Voice of the People Television, where your health has a voice.
To know the happenings in the maritime sector, join us on the program Maritime Frontiers on VOP TV as we discuss key areas in the maritime sector, from aquaculture, maritime transportation, maritime labor regulation, oil and gas exploration, ferry and passenger insurance, marine pollution and prevention, port operations, and lots more. Maritime Frontiers, exploring Nigeria's blue economy. The red carpets, awards, the razzmatazz, music, fashion, interviews, and more. Spotlight on Voice of the People Television. Let's feed you with all the juicy stories in the global entertainment space, bringing you the glitz and glamour as it is hot. Stay tuned to Spotlight, 1 p.m. Monday to Friday. Spotlight on VOP TV. Entertainment like never before.
Welcome to the locker room, the home of football talk that matters. I am Jerry Apelhon. Join us every weekday, Monday to Friday at 5 p.m. Nigerian time, as we share the hot takes and hot debates in the exciting world of football. And joining me are the usual suspects, Ikechukwu and Mayowa, as we break down all the hot takes and everything that's happening in the football. Don't just watch football, live it with us. Catch us on the locker room and Voice of the People Television at 5 p.m. Nigerian time. And like I always say, if not going to the talk, please discuss.
Voice of the People, you can hear me now. My name is Patrick Doyle, and I wish that you continue to echo the voices of the people. Big up VOP TV.
My name is Suibifa Dokobo. Please keep watching VOP TV.
Hi, my name is Kwekumali Ikena Onyekwena, and I am with the Voice of the People TV. Now, if you're looking for the veritable channel for information, politics, robust discussions, you don't need to go far. VOP has you. VOP will always have you. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Patrick Diabwa, aka Ibani Chuka, Amayanabo the Eagle King, and you are watching VOP TV.
Behind every broken desk lies a broken promise. Education shapes the nations. But who is asking the right questions? Introducing Edu Dialogue, the show that goes beyond the surface, exposes the cracks, the corruption, and the silence in Nigeria's education system. Edu Dialogue, Saturdays, 3 p.m., only on VOP TV. We break the biggest stories. From missing funds to policy failures, we ask the tough questions and demand real answers. Edu Dialogue, this Saturday, 3 p.m. on Voice of the People Television.
Hey guys, what's up? How you all doing? They call me Ovisha Nelson One, your number one celebrity host, and you are watching Voice of the People Television, VOP. Stay tuned.
Uyi Osarate is my name. I am a friend of the microphone, Voice of the People TV. That name is unique, and the brand is very sweet. I like the packaging, picture qualities, camera qualities, and then of course, the quality of human beings that I see sometimes on your channel. I talk and get paid, and I look forward to being in your studios. Oh yes, you are on to Voice of the People TV, live here in Benin City, the cradle of black civilization. What are you waiting for? Tune in, bro.
VOP TV. Now, you have more than a voice.
My name is Esther. They call me the Oga of them are the general overseer of them all. Every man, every woman has got a voice where integrity is the volume. So this is Voice of the People's TV. Voice of the People's TV. So this is the people's voice. And the people's voice is the voice of God. That's the voice populi in Latin. The people's voice is the voice of God. So keep watching Voice of the People. In fact, my name is Voice of the People. Keep watching MC Ado Pikin.
Hi guys, my name is Kagan. I am Nigeria's biggest tech content creator, and I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Voice of the People TV. Keep watching, enjoy, and you're welcome.
My name is MC Alamano. They call me Enjoy Med Landlord. It's VOP TV. Keep watching VOP TV. Don't touch it down. Even if you want to touch it down, increase the volume. If you don't increase the volume, I told me.
My name is Collins Agawabe, popularly known as No My Day, but last, more than No My Day. More. Not be also the cook right at the fry plantain. We keep on watching VOP TV. Hey, the voice of the people, the voice of Edo. If you want to get the authentic news for Edo, the way it be, that's why they show and all the content come on at VOP TV.
My name is Tao Familoni, and here's to VOP TV. Keep watching, stay tuned, do not touch that dial.
Arararara, my name is Made Kuti, and you're watching VOP TV. Keep watching.
Welcome, my name is Zika Davis. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, boys, viewers, everybody, boys and girls. This is VOP TV. Do you know what that means? Voice of the People TV. You don't have a voice, don't come here. You better make sure your voice is.
This is Health Check, your weekly guide to better living, smarter choices, and trusted answers. From everyday wellness to urgent health issues, we've got you covered. Health Check, only on Voice of the People Television, where your health has a voice.
In a world where power shifts with every headlines, news breaks and events happens, we bring you unbiased and explicit information on politics, economy and state of the nation. We break down the chaos. Facts, not fluff. Truth, not spin. We discuss not just politics, but a glimpse into the future. Join Moses, Chukuma and Fina on Voice of the People TM. Voice of the People Television. Now you have more than a voice.
The red carpets, awards, the razzmatazz, music, fashion, interviews, and more. Spotlight on Voice of the People Television. Let's feed you with all the juicy stories in the global entertainment space, bringing you the glitz and glamour as it is hot. Stay tuned to Spotlight, 1 p.m. Monday to Friday. Spotlight on VOP TV. Entertainment like never before. In a world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions scream the loudest, it's time to wade through the noise.
Hunger no get tribe! Hunger no get religion!
And scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues on Voice of the People Television, Mondays to Fridays, 8 to 9 p.m. The Issues. Don't just react. Understand.
Voice of the people, you can hear me now. My name is Patrick Doyle, and I wish that you continue to echo the voices of the people. Big up VOP TV.
My name is Ibifa Dokubo. Please keep watching VOP TV.
Hi, my name is Kwekumali Ikenda Onyekwena, and I am with the Voice of the People TV. Now, if you're looking for the veritable channel for information, politics, robust discussions, you don't need to go far. VOP has you. VOP will always have you. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Patrick Diabwa, aka Ibani Chuka, Amayanabo the Eagle King, and you are watching VOP TV.
Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We bring in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice. VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
Hello and welcome to the news on Voice of the People Television. I am Chioma Innocent. Before we begin the news, kindly visit our website. It's www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news. Here are the headlines. Court orders Tinubu government to publish Nddc forensic audit report and name those indicted. Federal High Court debunks claim of assassination attempt on Justice Omotosho. Ghana says bandits may be abducting children as human shields. Kebbi State shuts down schools indefinitely over worsening insecurity. Trump says the Nigerian government doing nothing to end killings and amid worsening attacks. Pope calls for release of 315 abducted in Nigerian school kidnapping. On the foreign scene, Netanyahu vows to keep striking Hamas and Hezbollah. In business, Atiku raises concern over express payment appointment as TSA agent. In sport, NSC commends Nigeria's historic medal haul. And in the world of entertainment, NTDA unveils Niger flavor to showcase tourism and creativity. Now the news in detail. The Federal High Court sitting in Abuja has ordered President Bola Tinubu to direct the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice to widely publish the names of those indicted in the misappropriation of over 6 trillion naira earmarked for the abandoned 13,777 projects and in the running of the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, between 2000 and 2019. The court also ordered the president to publish and make available to the public the NDDC forensic audit report submitted to the federal government on September 2, 2021. The judgment was delivered by Justice Gladys Olotu following a Freedom of Information suit by the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERA. In her judgment, Justice Olotu held that the forensic audit report of the Niger Delta Development Commission, as well as the names of persons indicted therein, clearly fall within the definition of public records as contained in Section 31 of the Freedom of Information Act. Justice Olotu also held that the NDDC forensic audit report and the names of persons indicted are not exempted under Sections 11 to 19, as the information relates to the use and management of public funds. SORAP Deputy Director Kolawole Oluwadare lauded the judgment, describing it as a groundbreaking and a victory for transparency and accountability in the spending of public funds. In another development, the Federal High Court says the report that Justice James Omotosho survived an assassination attempt following the life sentence imposed on Nnamdi Kanu is fake news. A blogger had reported on his Facebook page that Justice Omotosho survived an assassination attempt on Saturday morning, just days after handing down the life sentence to Kanu. According to the report, Justice Omotosho was immediately rushed to a hospital as security forces scrambled to secure the area. But reacting to the claim, the Chief Registrar of the Federal High Court, Suleiman Hassan, in a statement, said the report was untrue. Meanwhile, reactions are mixed over Nnamdi Kanu's life sentence. Our correspondent Ndu Okbalese spoke to people in Awka, Anambra State, who are divided on the issue. Here's his report.
Did not meet the previous judgments have favored. For a youth leader, Iman Senago, the judgment did not meet with his expectations, having in mind that previous judgments have favored Mazen Nnamdi Kanu.
The judgment is biased and uncalled for, because to start with, in the past administration, under the administration of His Excellency late Muhammad Buhari, the Federal High Court ruled out all those 7 count charges against Nnamdi Kanu. Was discharged and acquitted. Now the DSS still detained him, and then he was taken to appeal court. Appeal court also discharged and acquitted him. There is high rate of marginalization, so it is uncalled for, and it is a judgment filled with bias. If we can give an instance, the likes of Sunday Bori, James, and the rest of them. So if you know that there is high rate of marginalization.
Another youth leader, Comrade Chidube Ezekwe, it is a mixed grill of a sort, since according to him, Southeasterners view it as a way down for them. He was, however, quick to point out that the law has taken its full course.
Mixed feelings. You would agree that right now, emotions are high, feelings are high. Those on the supporting side are very, very annoyed. They find it vexatious. Those on the negative side are reflecting, sober reflection. Any person who was surprised about what happened yesterday is either not informed or ignorant of the law. This is one angle to look at it. The other angle to look at it is that the law is the law, and the law is clear.
A public affairs analyst, Dr. Dennis Ekemezi, said the matter has just seen the legislative and judiciary dimensions, adding that the executive arm of government is expected to intervene with some sort of presidential pardon to bring the vexed issue to rest.
It's now left for the executive to use this by the president to grant him pardon or so. I'm trying to say that it has to take now a political dimension. It has taken the judiciary dimension. It has the request by the members of the House of Rep, and then the presidential pardon will now come through the president. There's expectation. Our expectation is high that the president will grant us this demand for betterment of the Southeast, and then Nigeria in general, because it's not only for the Southeast, it's also for Nigeria, the peace in the country.
For the ordinary man on the street, the propriety of the judgment will be better appreciated in the restoration of security to the Southeast, as well as an end to the Monday sit at home. Ndu Apalese, VOP TV News.
Many thanks to Ndu for that report. Moving on, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency has warned parents and guardians after operatives uncovered a new method used by drug traffickers to distribute illicit substances. The alert was raised on Sunday by the agency's Director of Media and Advocacy, Femi Babafemi, in a statement posted on X, formerly Twitter. According to the NDLEA, drug traffickers are now using what appear to be ordinary flight boarding passes to conceal and transport dangerous drugs, including a substance known as kolos. The agency called on parents, guardians, and the public to remain vigilant, especially regarding deliveries from dispatch riders, as these seemingly innocuous packages could be carrying harmful drugs. Now, this report says troops of the Northeast Joint Task Force Operation Hadinkai have again repelled a midnight invasion by suspected members of Boko Haram terrorists who attempted to wreak havoc in Magumeri local government area of Borno State. Magumeri, located in Northern Senatorial District, is about 45 kilometers drive from Maiduguri, the Borno State capital. Sources reveal that no life was lost, though the armed insurgents razed down unspecified number of residential houses and some vehicles belonging to members of the Civilian Joint Task Force and volunteers who were complementing efforts of the security agents in the fight against terrorism. According to a military source, troops of the operation stood their ground and overwhelmed the attackers, as many of the terrorists fled with gunshot wounds. Meanwhile, 2 police officers were killed in Bauchi State on Saturday when a team of police officers was attacked. Police spokesperson Benjamin Hunday said in a statement that the police team embarked on a visibility patrol earlier to boost the confidence of locals in Sabansara village, Bauchi State, when they were attacked. The latest incident adds to the escalating insecurity across Nigeria, where armed groups terrorize the country, killing and kidnapping at will. Over 300 students were kidnapped from a Catholic school in Niger State last week, while 24 students were kidnapped from another school in Kebbi State. Still on insecurity, the former Minister of Information, Professor Jerry Gana, has said that armed groups behind the latest wave of school kidnappings in the north may be seizing children as human shields following threats issued by United States President Donald Trump. He spoke at a reception in Abuja held to celebrate the elevation of the Comptroller General of the Nigerian Customs Service, Adewale Adeniyi, as chairman of the World Customs Organization, and at a fundraising dinner for the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations National Secretariat. He had earlier paid tribute to Adeniyi's WCO Council chairmanship and said that the sudden escalation in school abductions across the country may be linked to fears among bandits that they may soon be targeted by foreign powers. In the meantime, Kebbi State in northwestern Nigeria has become the latest state in the country to indefinitely shut virtually all its schools, joining Katsina, Plateau, and Yobe, which have made similar announcements due to security concerns in the country. The Kebbi State government on Sunday ordered the closure of all public and private secondary schools, as well as all tertiary institutions across the state, except the College of Northern Sciences, Birni Kebbi. The announcement is contained in a statement jointly issued by the Kebbi Commissioner for Higher Education, Issa Abubakar Tunga, and the Commissioner for Basic and Secondary Education, Halima Bande. The Commissioner stated that the closure of both public, private, and state-owned tertiary institutions had become necessary following the recent cases of attacks in parts of the state. Meanwhile, the interim national chairman of the Labour Party, Senator Nnamdi Usman, has said the President Bola Tinubu-led administration must go beyond routine statements condemning the rising spate of violence and find practical solutions to the scourge. She noted that the current nationwide surge in violence, especially the abduction of school children, captures the level of distress Nigerians were experiencing under the current administration. Usman said this in her first official response to the abduction of over 300 school children from St. Mary's Catholic Primary and Secondary School in Niger State over the weekend. In a statement in Abuja, she expressed grief that the tragedy has become one too many. In a similar development, President of the United States, Donald Trump, has again criticized the federal government of Nigeria over alleged attacks targeting Christians in the country. He threatened to withdraw financial support to Nigeria, saying the government had been ineffective in addressing the killings that have continued to plague the nation. The U.S. president made the remarks in an audio message aired on Fox News Radio's The Brain Killmate show. In the recording, Trump accused the Nigerian government of failing to curb the violence. He further hinted at withdrawing U.S. financial support to Nigeria if the alleged violence continues unchecked. According to him, the crisis was largely ignored until he raised the alarm. You may recall that Trump had previously declared Nigeria a country of particular concern over alleged killing of Christians, saying that Christianity was facing an existential threat in the country. He warned that if the Nigerian government fails to halt the killings, American response would be fast, vicious, and sweet. U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth met with Nigeria's National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu, who led a delegation to the Pentagon on Thursday. The Pentagon said Hegseth urged Nigeria to take decisive action against the growing attack targeting Christians. U.S. Congressman Riley Moore also met with the Nigerian delegation on Wednesday night in Washington, D.C., stating that discussions focused on counter-terrorism, collaboration, and the protection of vulnerable communities. He described the talks as frank, honest, and productive. Now joining us virtually to analyze the news is Jane Agoye, a seasoned journalist and media professional who's currently an editor at the Premium Times. How are you doing today, Jane? Welcome to the news hour.
Thank you, Chairman. I'm very well. Good afternoon.
The Office of the Attorney General to publish the names of those indicted in the misappropriation of over 6 trillion naira earmarked for almost 14,000 projects. Actually, that is 13,777 projects that are supposed to go on in the Niger Delta, but these projects were abandoned and the money seemed to have been embezzled. Now, does it mean that if SERAP, this organization, this civil society organization, did not come out and push for the courts to compel the presidency, to compel the federal government to act on it, that it would have been swept under the carpet? Is this what Niger Delta people deserve? Is this what Nigerians deserve? 13,777 projects that would have benefited the people of the Niger Delta, and the money is nowhere to be found, just swept under the carpet. And successive administrations have just looked on and not done anything about it, from 2000 to 2019.
Yes, I'm really glad that this is coming at a time when there's so much pressure on the presidency to do the right thing. And I'm also glad that for the first time in a long time, SERAP is making some headways in some of the cases they've took on. If you notice, for a very long time, people have just assumed that SERAP is almost like a toothless dog, always, backing, always suing. But this is a landmark one for me, especially at the time when the President Tinubu's administration is, dealing with insecurity and all of that. So it couldn't have come at a better time. So yes, of course, we do know that if SERAP did not hold them by the jugulars, all of this wouldn't have been achievable. So yes, I think it's a good one, and it's because they kept at it.
They're saying it's because they kept at it, and that's exactly why I'm looking at. In the year 2000, it wasn't President Bola Tinubu who was Nigeria's president. Between 2000 and 2019, we must have had at least 3 to 4 different presidents, and none saw it fit to actually look into this issue. If these 14,000 projects, or almost 14,000 projects, were carried out, look at how it would have benefited the people. How come issues like this are allowed, they just overlook it? Right? It's almost as if the life of the ordinary Nigerian means nothing to the people in power.
Oh yes, we've always known this. And you know that for me, this ruling strikes at the heart of one of Nigeria's oldest lingering issues, which is accountability failures and intentional secrecy. That's how I would like to describe it. For the longest time, the Nddc, which was created for Niger Delta, has not lived up to, while we want to blame the federal government or successive previous administrations, let's also beam our focus on the Nddc, whose primary, the sole aim of being set up was to ensure that the Niger Delta, which is like home to Nigeria's mineral resources, is developed. They have not lived up to that billing. And for the longest time, for so many years, that region, the Niger Delta region, has remained volatile and underdeveloped because people are not doing what they are supposed to do. I also think that the fact that this audit was submitted in 2021, think about it, but kept out of the public view for almost 3 years, suggests that the challenge has never been, lack of evidence, but just the lack of willingness to expose those who were involved, because everyone is benefiting from all of this. So while we are also blaming previous governments, while we are also blaming the current government, we should also hold the institutions that we actually set up, to ensure that the Niger Delta develops, gets what they're supposed to, get all the growth and all of that, they've not done what they're supposed to do. So we should also, beam the searchlight on the agency behind this, the secrecy, and the fact that there's so much corruption. Chema, you know this, that one of the reasons why sometimes, findings, reports are swept under the carpet is because if the judiciary, the government wants to do something, about it, it means that a lot of people will lose their job. A lot of people will be thrown under the carpet. But as long as they can cover all those things, everybody could just behave anyhow. So I'm really happy that this is coming at a time when there's so much fire on the presidency. I'm extremely happy. And who knows, maybe something good might come out at the end of the day. It won't just be talk, talk, talk. And Serap, for once, will see like a landmark achievement, and all that they are fighting for will not just be in vain.
All right, then. Thank you, Jane. Let's now actually look at the widespread abduction of school children, students, and pupils. In the past 1 week, Nigerians woke up almost every day to news of sometimes it was 25 girls in Kebbi State. It was over 100 students in Niger State. It's too much for many Nigerians. Former Minister of Information, Professor Jerry Ghana, is of the opinion that these terrorists who have been behind the latest wave of school kidnappings in the north, that they may be using those children, or they may want to use those children as human shields, just in case the United States and President Donald Trump makes good on his threat to actually invade with the U.S. military, to actually go into an agreement with the Nigerian government to use the U.S. military services. Professor Jerry Ghana is saying maybe they want to use those children to shield themselves, so that if Trump actually does what he says he will do, then they would not want to see these children as collateral damage and then just bomb them like that. Do you think that this is an opinion that holds water?
Throughout this week, I have deliberately stayed away from the news because I wake up every morning.
We can't stay away from the news. That's literally our work.
I know. As journalists, we owe the public this responsibility, but it's so demoralizing. And I think that the fact that one of the issues I think is responsible for this is intelligence reports. I know that Nigeria has one of the best military in the world. However, one of the things that has made it, that has kept us this way is because a lot of the bad eggs, these bandits, these guys, they've infiltrated the military such that information is not being acted upon. And sadly, before kidnapping, I think Nigeria's response to kidnapping is even what hurts me the most. We are reactive. We are not proactive. It's once something happens, then something will happen. You hear sometimes after a kidnap, these targeted killings and abduction happens, you hear security experts, even in the DSS and saying that, we got intelligence reports, we got intel that they were going to strike. Sometimes they will even absorb themselves of the blame by saying that, we told the necessary authorities. And I'm like, why do we keep being reactive and not proactive? It just shows that as long as there's that systemic failure to what Professor Ghana said, whether it's right or wrong is not even the issue for me. I feel that the fact that we are reacting because the international other nations, Trumps of this world, have threatened to come in and take over. I think that because of that fear, we are now reacting, not even from the point of trying to ensure that the lives of Nigerians, lives of children, innocent children, are being protected, but we are reacting. The government is reacting to save face. Do you get it, Shoma? So I feel that as long as we are still playing politics with all of these things, it will still, continue. It also shows that Nigeria is losing control of its own security interpretation. And sadly, a lot of Nigerians have also lost faith in the military. And a lot of people in some states in this country, I'm sure you're aware of it, they feel protected when they succumb to these bandits because they feel they are safer. You understand? So they are also, sympathetic to their causes. The judiciary, we don't have faith in it. The military, they are even stretched, overstretched. We're talking about equipment. We're talking about intelligence. We are talking about strategy, and all of that. It really is mind-boggling. It's really sad, makes me extremely sad, because this thing is not going to end in a hurry.
You know, Jane, let's look at another way it's actually affecting Nigerians when it comes to education. Katsina, Plateau, Yobe, and Kebbi State have made similar announcements to actually close down schools across these states due to insecurity. But one very unfunny aspect of it is that even closing down the schools does not guarantee that people will not be abducted in their homes. I mean, look at how insecurity is threatening education in Nigeria. In the northern region, where a lot of people have not even really embraced education like that, and now it's almost as if it's been brought to a standstill.
Yeah, I do agree with you. And for me, I feel that this closure of the schools nationwide signals a deeper national emergency, that education in Nigeria is no longer being disrupted by insecurity, but it's actually been, what's the word? It's been suspended because of it. When the government cannot guarantee safety in classrooms, the message is very clear that armed groups, are determining the terms of daily life. And like you rightly said, Nigeria has the highest number of out-of-school children globally. And the North, where some of these things are rife, have the highest number in the country. So for me, all these temporary measures will not translate into long-term social consequences. That's what I feel. And sadly, children, especially in the North, where education, I schooled in the North, spent a greater part of my younger days in the North. So I know how education is in the North. So imagining schools being closed down this long, what's the broader implication of this move? So the immediate goal may be safety, but really the long-term results will actually include things like vulnerability to child labor, early marriage, street migration, even extremism, because these children, who we should not forget are in the enclaves of these bandits, as we like to call them, are actually being exposed to extremism. And you know what? They might also be recruited. A friend of mine was telling me that her younger sister, attends the school, the school in Niger, where the one of the recent abductions, happened. Her sister is in the secondary arm, and she also has a younger sister in the nursery arm, I think the lower arm, where those guys struck. And she said they targeted children between the ages of 3 to 5. And because they are in secondary school, they had to, of course, older, wiser, they had to jump off the fence. I don't know if her accounts are true, but she said they actually saw them, tie these children, file them up in a straight line, and walk them into the bush. They were not in a hurry. They took their time. So that also brings us back to the issue I raised earlier, which is that intelligence report. Why is it that sometimes when these things happen, you heard what the Kebbi State governor even said, was it yesterday or today? I saw it in the headlines, that how come the military withdrew their whatever before that thing, struck, before the kidnappings, happened. So all these points out, I mean, it just reminds us about the fact that all these things are calculated. They are calculated, very, very deliberate, very strategic, and there's a lot of intelligence going into this, whether we like it or not. And we just have to wake up and do the right thing, really.
It's quite unfortunate, but one thing we'll continue to do is hold the government accountable for the lives, safety, and security of Nigerians. Jane, I must thank you for joining me on the News Hour today. Thank you very much for your time, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
We have been speaking with Jane Agoye, who is a journalist and media professional right here on the News Hour. We'll take a very short break and return with more stories. To stay tuned. Welcome back. Pope Leo XIV has called for the release of over 300 hostages taken from a Catholic school in one of the largest mass kidnappings in Nigeria. His call came after gunmen kidnapped more than 300 students and teachers in raids on 2 schools in the country. Gunmen on Monday stormed the secondary school in Kebbi State, abducting 25 girls. That was followed by an early Friday raid on St. Mary's Co-Education School in Niger State. The Pope said, among other things, that he learned with what he described as immense sadness the news of the kidnappings of priests, faithfuls, and students in Nigeria. He therefore made a heartfelt appeal for the immediate release of the hostages. The Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Gas, Ekpo, has expressed deep sorrow over the deadly gas explosion that rocked the Onuara area of Ibadan, Oyo State last Friday, describing the tragedy as needless and preventable. In a statement on Sunday by his spokesperson, Louis Iba, the minister condoled with the Oyo State government, families of the deceased, and scores of injured residents who are currently battling for survival after the blast. According to preliminary findings, the incident occurred while a gas tanker was offloading liquefied petroleum gas into a 2.5 metric ton illegal skid hidden within a thickly populated neighborhood. The explosion tore through homes, shops, and a nearby church, sparking panic across the community as residents fled for safety. Now, as the world marks World Television Day, veteran Nigerian journalist Bimbo Oloyede is weighing in on the future of broadcasting. She says that while streaming and digital platforms now dominate media consumption, television will survive only if it protects its integrity, especially its commitment to accurate reporting and fact-checking in the face of rising AI-generated misinformation. She welcomed digitalization and changing audience habits, but urged broadcasters to uphold the editorial standards that have long made television a trusted news source.
Is going to take on a different level. It's going to take on a different approach. Some things that we haven't even thought about, we're going to start witnessing them. We're going to start watching them, especially when you come to the era of entertainment, when you come into the area of thinking about creating pictures, thinking about creating visuals that go with words, thinking about creating visuals that depict the arts. There is no way that what we have at present is going to remain. There's definitely going to be an explosion in terms of the use of AI and in terms of the use of other digital platforms. We are going to see some crazy, crazy things.
You're still watching the news hour right here on Voice of the People Television. We'll take a short break now and return with news on the foreign scene, business, sports, and entertainment stories. Stay with us. Welcome back. Now, outside the shores of Nigeria, South Africa has handed over the rotating presidency of the G20 Leaders Summit to the United States, which did not attend the meeting as the conference wrapped up in Johannesburg on Sunday. South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa formally closed the G20 summit, handing over the presidency to the U.S. for the next year edition. According to him, South Africa used its G20 presidency to place the priorities of Africa and the Global South at the center of the agenda, building on the developmental focus of previous presidencies in Indonesia, India, and Brazil. Ramaphosa said South Africa was truly honored and humbled to host the G20, the first time the summit has held on African soil, describing the occasion as significant not only for South Africans but also for all Africans. He noted that while recognizing the importance of the milestone, the country had sought to place Africa's growth and development interests at the heart of the G20 agenda adding that the greatest opportunity for prosperity in the 21st century lies in Africa. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu insists that Israel will do everything necessary to stop Hezbollah from regrouping in Lebanon and Hamas from doing the same in Gaza. Israel has hit multiple targets in neighboring Lebanon over the past week, with the Israeli military saying it had struck Hezbollah launchers and military sites. However, Gaza's Civil Defense Agency said 21 people were killed and dozens more wounded in multiple Israeli airstrikes on Saturday, as Hamas and Israel again traded allegations of violating the fragile ceasefire in place since October 10. Netanyahu said as he opened the cabinet meeting that Israel was continuing to strike terrorism on several fronts. He disclosed that the Israeli military struck in Lebanon and that the country will continue to do everything necessary to prevent Hezbollah from re-establishing its threat capability against Israel. He added that Israel is also doing the same thing in the Gaza Strip, stating that since the ceasefire agreement, Hamas has not stopped violating it. In another development, social media platform X has begun rolling out a new limited feature showing countries where users are based, in a move that could help identify accounts spreading propaganda or interfering in foreign affairs. The update also allows some users to see additional account details, including the creation date, verification status, country of registration, number of username changes, and the App Store country through which the account was connected. First seen on November 21, 2025, the function is not yet available to all users. Those with access can visit an account's bio, select the date it joined X, and view the country associated with that account. The head of product at X, Nikita Bier, explained in October that the move aimed to help users verify content. According to proponents, the country-based labels could make it easier to detect accounts engaging in misinformation campaigns, unethical engagement farming, or impersonation. However, critics have expressed concerns about privacy for users who prefer not to reveal their exact location. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has described as dangerous the appointment of Express Payment Solutions Limited as a new collecting agent for the Federal Inland Revenue Service (FIRS) under the Treasury Single Account (TSA). He alleged in a statement on X that the move is an attempt to revive the Alpha Beta Star revenue model that operated in Lagos during President Bola Tinubu's tenure as governor. According to him, the appointment amounted to the resurrection of a revenue cartel, adding that it is similar to Alpha Beta that created a monopoly that diverted public funds into private hands, accusing the federal government of acting without public consultation or legislative oversight. Atiku described it as an attempt to nationalize a template that places private intermediaries between government revenues and the state, thereby undermining transparency and public accountability. He further demanded clarification on what value express payment would add to the existing TSA channel, stating that the lack of transparency in the process raises concerns about whose interest the decision truly serves. In another development, some Nigerian women on the front lines of climate change have expressed disappointment that their realities, struggles and solutions were missing from the conference on the parties to the UN Climate Summit COP30 in Belém, Brazil. Founder and Executive Director of Women Initiative for Sustainable Environment, WISE, Olanike Olugboji Daramola, noted that many rural women farmers whose livelihoods are the most disrupted by climate change were unaware that high-level climate meetings determining their futures hold annually across the world. According to her, the summit should have been a platform where women living with the daily consequences of climate change could speak for themselves rather than being a forum for big players and corporations. She regretted that women who endure extreme weather conditions, crop failure, poor yields, land loss and livelihood threats remain shut out. Against this background, she said WISE was creating local spaces where women could understand global processes, articulate their challenges, and move from focusing on burdens to showcasing their brilliance and leadership. From business, we take you into the world of sports, where Team Nigeria's historic outing at the 2025 Islamic Solidarity Games in Riyadh has received praise by the National Sports Commission after finishing 8th on the overall medals table with 30 medals. Nigeria ended the competition with 11 gold, 12 silver, and 7 bronze to secure Africa's second best placement behind Egypt, with Turkey topping the standings with 155 medals. NSC Director General Bukola Olopade said the results validate the Commission's renewed approach to athletes development. He explained that after meeting with team members at the NSC and the Elite and Podium Board led by Yusuf Ali, the Commission decided to bring only a podium prospect to Riyadh, adding that the decision has paid off. Nigeria competed in 7 sports comprising taekwondo, boxing, athletics, wrestling, weightlifting, powerlifting and para-athletics, and won medals in all, with the highest number of medals from weightlifting. Still in sports, Manchester United are set to open talks with the football federations of Cameroon, Morocco and Cote d'Ivoire to delay the departures of Brian Mbeumo, Nosser Mazraoui and Amad Diallo ahead of this year's African Cup of Nations, AFCON. The 3 key players are expected to feature for their national teams in this year's AFCON, scheduled for December 21 to January 18, when United also expects important stretch of fixtures. However, in spite of the challenge, head coach Ruben Amorim remains hopeful that agreement could be reached with the respective associations. United are particularly keen to have the players available for their Premier League trip to Wolves on December 8 and the home clash against Bournemouth on December 15. Amorim said United were trying to have the players a bit longer, about 2 weeks before the start, adding that they would try to arrange something with the federations as the players are so important to the United squad. And then we'll bring you news in the world of entertainment, where the Nigerian Tourism Development Authority is set to showcase the nation's rich tourism and creative sector at the maiden edition of an innovative project tagged Niger Flavor Destination December. The NTDA Director General Olaiwola Awakon told newsmen in Abuja that the tourism fiesta coming up in December in the Federal Capital Territory will showcase Nigeria's rich cultural identity, including cuisine, attire, music, craft, and the entrepreneurial spirit. He explained that the event is to celebrate the flavors of Nigerian culture, the vibrancy of its creativity, and the growing power of tourism as an economic driver. He explained that Niger Flavor has been conceptualized in the same spirit to generate wealth, empower local businesses, strengthen the creative economy, and build a tourism experience that sustains itself and stimulates national growth. According to him, the Abuja Fiesta, in collaboration with various stakeholders in the sector, including the National Institute for Hospitality and Tourism, will host a marketplace of culture, entrepreneurship, food, fashion, games, musical concert, and live theatre. The European Union has launched a €30 million Africa-Europe Partnership for Culture Nigeria cluster aimed at empowering artists and expanding creative networks. In a statement, the EU said the project, which is implemented by the Goethe Institute, will promote international collaboration opportunities for Nigerian artists, cultural organizations, and creative professionals across sub-Saharan Africa and Europe in advancing mutual exchange and co-creation. Speaking during the launch of the AEPC Nigeria cluster in Lagos, the EU ambassador to Nigeria and ECOWAS, Gautier Mignot, said culture remains central to sustainable development, social cohesion, and inclusive growth. According to him, culture is a driver of mutual understanding, creative innovation, and economic opportunity. And that's it on the news hour. Before we go, a quick look at the headlines. We told you that the court has ordered President Tinubu's government to publish Nddc forensic audit report and name those indicted. Federal High Court debunks claim of assassination attempt on Justice Omotosho. Jerry Ghana says bandits may be abducting children as human shields. Kebbi State shuts down schools indefinitely. Trump says Nigerian government doing nothing to end killings. Pope calls for release of abducted Nigerian school children. Outside Nigeria, Netanyahu vows to keep striking Hamas and Hezbollah. In business, Atiku raises concern over express payment appointment as TSA agent. In sports, NSC commends Nigeria's historic medal haul. And in the world of entertainment, NTDA unveils Niger Flavor to showcase tourism and creativity. Do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel. On YouTube, we are Voice of the People TV, and on other social media platforms, we are at VOP TV Live. If you witness news happening near you, we want to hear from you. Send your eyewitness reports, event coverage requests, photos or videos directly via WhatsApp to 0814-606-4057. You can also reach our newsroom by email at news@vop.ng. I am Chioma Innocent. Thank you for watching.
VOP TV. Now, you have more than a voice.
In a world where power shifts with every headlines, news breaks and events happens, we bring you unbiased and explicit information on politics, economy and state of the nation. We break down the chaos. Facts, not fluff. Truth, not spin. We discuss not just politics, but a glimpse into the future. Join Moses, Chukuma and Fina on Voice of the People TM. Voice of the People Television. Now you have more than a voice.
The red carpets, awards, the razzmatazz, music, fashion, interviews, and more. Spotlight on Voice of the People Television. Let's feed you with all the juicy stories in the global entertainment space, bringing you the glitz and glamour as it is hot. Stay tuned to Spotlight, 1 p.m. Monday to Friday. Spotlight on VOP TV. Entertainment like never before.
Welcome to the locker room, the home of football talk that matters. I am Jerry Arpeon. Join us every weekday, Monday to Friday at 5 p.m. Nigerian time, as we share the hot takes and hot debates in the exciting world of football. And joining me are the usual suspects, Ikechukwu and Mayowa, as we break down all the hot takes and everything that's happening in the football. Don't just watch football, live it with us. Catch us on the locker room and Voice of the People Television at 5 p.m. Nigerian time. And like I always say, if not 2012, please discuss.
Join us as we drive into the world of politics through insightful interviews with prominent political figures, both serving and former governors, ministers, senators, legislators, party chieftains, activists, and analysts. Get first-hand information into the decision-making processes that affect our daily lives. Highly engaging one-hour program that brings political discourse into focus.
I am Chukwuma Okoro.
Political Lens, Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Join us. In a world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions scream the loudest, it's time to wade through the noise.
Hunger no get tribe! Hunger no get religion!
And scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues on Voice of the People Television, Mondays to Fridays, 8 to 9 p.m. The Issues. Don't just react. Understand.
Voice of the people, you can hear me now. My name is Patrick Doyle, and I wish that you continue to echo the voices of the people. Big up VOP TV.
My name is Ibifa Dokubo. Please keep watching VOP TV.
Hi, my name is Kwekumali Ikenda Onyekwena, and I am with the Voice of the People TV. Now, if you're looking for the veritable channel for information, politics, robust discussions, you don't need to go far. VOP has you. VOP will always have you. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Patrick Diabwa, aka Ibani Chuka, Amayanabo the Eagle King, and you are watching VOP TV.
Behind every broken desk lies a broken promise. Education shapes the nations, but who is asking the right questions? Introducing Edu Dialogue, The show that goes beyond the surface, exposes the cracks, the corruption, and the silence in Nigeria's education system. Edu Dialogue, Saturdays, 3 p.m., only on VOP TV. We break the biggest stories, from missing funds to policy failures. We ask the tough questions and demand real answers. Edu Dialogue, this Saturday, 3 p.m. on Voice of the People Television.
Do you want your voice to be heard? Do you know that you matter in the scheme of things? The People's Voice, the show where ordinary citizens take center stage as we discuss the biggest stories that affect you and I. With you in mind, we facilitate lively discussions, debates, and interviews on the topics that matter most to you and I, from social justice to economic empowerment, education to healthcare, governance, and more, tackling tough topics and amplifying your voice. Join the conversation and make your voice count. The People's Voice. Make your voice count.
Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We bring in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
Hey guys, what's up? How you all doing? They call me Ovisha Nelson One, your number one celebrity host, and you are watching Voice of the People Television, VOP. Stay tuned.
Uyi Osarate is my name. I am a friend of the microphone, Voice of the People TV. That name is unique, and the brand is very sweet. I like the packaging. Picture qualities, camera qualities, and then of course, the quality of human beings that I see sometimes on your channel. I talk and get paid, and I look forward to being in your studios.
Oh yes, you are on to Voice of the People TV, live here in Benin City, the cradle of black civilization. What are you waiting for? Tune in, bro.
VOP TV. Now, you have more than a voice.
2564 is coming up on Burning 9, right?
2564 Atlantic Tower.
What happens in the hush behind hangar doors? Who signs the papers that gamble with lives? Which truths were grounded before they even ever had wings? If you've ever buckled a seatbelt at 30,000 feet, if you've ever stared out of that tiny window and wondered who's really in control of the skies, it isn't just flight, it's power, it's politics, it's pressure sealed in steel. We're peeling back the clouds from runway risks to sky-high secrets. We're diving deep where most dare not to look. Aviation Scope, every Sunday at 7 p.m. only on Voice of the People TV. We don't just report, we reveal. We don't just ask, we uncover. Because when it comes to the skies, ignorance is turbulence. Aviation scope. The sky isn't the limit, it's just the beginning.
Welcome to Kitty's Corner. Every weekend is a new journey. Join Auntie Oni as she embarks on thrilling adventures. Each episode takes the young explorers to a different fantastical world filled with exciting challenges, making new friends and learning valuable life lessons. The show begins with lots of excitement in a cozy storytelling mood. Fairies teach the importance of kindness, honesty, bravery, teamwork, or curiosity. Kitty's Corner is a delightful blend of fun, education, and imagination with catchy songs, interactive games, and heartwarming stories. Join Auntie Oni every Saturday, 10 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. on Voice of the People